The path through the Celestial Emperor Cave was lined with countless beautiful flowers of different types. But every flower contained restrictions that could attack, trap, or teleport anyone who touched them. Even the celestial jades on the path contained restrictions that would activate if one stepped on them in the wrong order or direction. These restrictions made movement extremely difficult for anyone unfamiliar with them, but they posed little danger to Wang Lin, although the jade map did not provide methods for breaking the restrictions. It described them in great detail, allowing Wang Lin, as a restriction grandmaster, to identify their solutions immediately. Nevertheless, Wang Lin did not completely trust the map and constantly verified its information as he advanced. While moving, he took out the iron sword he had stolen from the phantom and examined it with his divine sense. Although the sword appeared ordinary, a powerful resistance prevented his divine sense from penetrating it, with the strongest resistance coming from its rust marks. Wang Lin remembered how Tuo Sen's messenger had reacted upon seeing the same sword. Realizing that the messenger had actually been interested in the rust rather than the sword itself, Wang Lin wiped some rust from the sword and found red stains on his hand with a faint fishy smell, leading him to initially conclude that it was ordinary rust. However, when he moved his hand, a crack suddenly appeared in the space it passed through. At the same time, the nearby sea of flowers was covered in red light, causing every flower to wither and all its restrictions to silently collapse. Wang Lin tested the phenomenon by pointing his rust-covered finger toward another sea of flowers, which immediately withered and turned into useless soil. The rust then disappeared from his finger. Shocked by this discovery, Wang Lin stared at the rust on the iron sword and opened his third eye. Red light and source origin energy enveloped the sword, causing the sword itself to gradually become transparent while the rust remained unchanged. Wang Lin then saw an invisible energy circulating inside the sword. When it encountered the source origin from his third eye, it surged outward as though attempting to devour it. Wang Lin immediately cut off the spell and withdrew his source origin, causing his third eye to close. The invisible energy paused before retreating and continuing to circulate within the sword. Confused by the sword's nature, Wang Lin was about to put it away when he suddenly noticed its size and remembered the 5 sword sheaths he had obtained on planet Suzaku. He took out all 5 sheaths and inserted the iron sword into them one by one. The sword fit perfectly into the sheaths, but there was no reaction until he placed it into the third sheath. At which point the runes carved on the sheath emitted a harsh light and a terrifying aura erupted from the sword and sheath. Wang Lin was delighted and slowly pulled the sword partially out. The terrifying aura immediately became even stronger, as though an unimaginable power was sealed inside the sword and would emerge if it were completely drawn. Wang Lin recognized a similar power from a treasure he had encountered before. The pseudo-nirvana void arrow belonging to the deceased esteemed Zan Bao. Thinking of the words, pseudo-nirvana void, Wang Lin did not draw the sword further. Instead, he returned it to the sheath and continued forward rapidly. He soon reached a small 2-story pavilion that, according to the map, contained the first restriction eye on the first floor. Only after all 8 restriction eyes were opened could one have a chance to enter the black fog. Wang Lin quickly discovered that the restrictions in the pavilion had already been broken by someone else. And judging from their condition, they had not been broken long ago. He therefore became cautious, realizing that he was not the only person capable of understanding the restrictions. After the celestial burial pool collapsed, everyone had been scattered, so others could have arrived and broken restrictions before him. Since the first floor of the Celestial Emperor Cave was not large and could normally be covered by divine sense, Wang Lin knew that no one would recklessly spread out their divine sense because of the countless restrictions. And even the all-seer would have to be cautious unless forced into a desperate situation. Wang Lin then moved around the pavilion and entered the grass. Using deduction to navigate the restrictions described on the map, he crossed the grass without activating any restrictions and quickly reached the other side. Meanwhile, in the northeast corner of the first floor, the black-robed man with the hidden dragon mark confronted the beautiful middle-aged woman beside the pavilion. The woman questioned why he had to compete with her over such a simple restriction after she had been forced into a restriction when the celestial burial pool collapsed. She had escaped after breaking it, then cautiously advanced after seeing the black fog. She was not overly worried about the pink-clothed girl accompanying her because the treasure given to that girl by her senior sister should protect her. After overcoming numerous dangerous restrictions, the woman had finally reached the pavilion and immediately noticed that it was unusual. only for the black-robed man to appear on the opposite side. The man sarcastically told her that since it was merely an ordinary restriction, she should let him have it and stepped toward the pavilion. The woman immediately attacked, while the black-robed man formed a seal and released black fog that transformed into a dragon and charged at her. The woman pulled out 3 strands of hair, threw them forward, and recited a strange chant, causing the hairs to transform into 3 black pythons with blood-red mouths that attacked the dragon-shaped fog. Their collision produced a powerful storm and muffled rumbles. But the battle remained confined within roughly 1,000 feet because both cultivators wanted to avoid attracting the attention of others and end the fight quickly. The woman questioned why the man did not simply go to the palace surrounded by black fog at the center, while she formed a seal and released 5 colored light that transformed into 5 swords. The black-robed man summoned a flying sword covered in black gas, which collided with the 5 swords. He then revealed that the pavilion contained a transfer array leading to a storage space and accused her of knowing this while pretending otherwise. The woman admitted nothing verbally, but her expression confirmed that he was correct. As their treasures continued clashing, she realized that neither side could easily defeat the other before attracting others. She therefore proposed that they enter the transfer array together and divide whatever treasure they found equally. The black-robed man agreed, and the two entered the pavilion together. However, immediately after entering, both turned toward the same direction and saw Wang Lin walking out from the other side. Wang Lin immediately noticed them and stopped. The black-robed man revealed a strange smile. While the beautiful woman was shocked by Wang Lin's cultivation, she remembered that when she first encountered him, he possessed the strength of a Nirvana cleanser cultivator but appeared to be only at the early Nirvana scryer stage, and later appeared to be at the middle stage. Now, however, he had reached the peak of Nirvana scryer, causing her to wonder whether he had been concealing his cultivation or had recently broken through. Wang Lin examined the 2 cultivators and already understood the pavilion's secret. The map explicitly described the transfer array leading to a storage space, and even without the map he could have discovered it himself. The beautiful woman then invited Wang Lin to join them and suggested that the 3 of them divide the treasures they obtained. Before Wang Lin could answer, the ground suddenly trembled and an angry roar came from the distance. Because the Celestial Emperor Cave contained countless restrictions that formed barriers resembling countless separate worlds, they could not clearly see what was happening even from nearby locations. On the surface, the cave appeared calm, but if the worlds within the restrictions could be viewed from above, a bamboo forest could be seen in the distance, covered in monstrous red mist and accompanied by a heaven-shaking roar. Wang Lin's expression immediately changed because he realized that the restrictions surrounding the bamboo forest had already been broken. The humanoid phantom had progressed faster than he expected. Wang Lin ignored the beautiful woman's proposal and immediately rushed toward the palace surrounded by black fog. Along the way, he had already checked the area and discovered that all the restriction eyes had been broken, indicating that someone had reached the 2nd floor before him. He had originally come to the pavilion because it offered the route with the fewest restrictions toward the central palace. Seeing Wang Lin suddenly flee, the black-robed man abandoned the transfer array and immediately pursued him. The beautiful woman hesitated, but the approaching roar grew rapidly closer. From above the individual restriction worlds, the humanoid phantom could be seen charging toward Wang Lin while triggering countless restrictions. Numerous flashes of light appeared as restrictions attacked it, and some even teleported it elsewhere. But the phantom broke through them within only a few breaths. It appeared to be learning the restrictions as it advanced, allowing it to break them faster and faster until it eventually charged forward in a straight line toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin moved forward like a meteor, following the map toward the black fog at the center while passing through countless restrictions. The man in black followed closely behind, precisely stepping along Wang Lin's path, while the beautiful woman also pursued them but was soon blocked by restrictions because her understanding of them was inferior to Wang Lin's. As an angry roar and the sounds of restrictions being broken approached from behind, Wang Lin accelerated and reached a pavilion. He took 7 steps to the right at an unimaginable angle, entered the pavilion's restrictions, and passed through them in an instant. The man in black copied his movements and also successfully passed through, while the beautiful woman was delayed. At that moment, the restrictions behind her collapsed as a red human-shaped figure rushed out. The figure's cold gaze was filled with anger, and it charged toward the beautiful woman. But Master Void suddenly arrived and used a spell to knock it back. because he was connected to the power the beautiful woman belonged to. Master Void took her with him and broke through the pavilion's restrictions with his cultivation. The human-shaped figure then chased after them. Wang Lin continued rushing through the restrictions without touching them and soon reached the black fog at the center. The fog contained dense devilish energy. But with the roar approaching from behind, Wang Lin had no time to investigate and entered it. The man in black followed without hesitation, maintaining some distance and warning Wang Lin to be careful because of the powerful devilish energy. He also asked what the creature chasing them was, and Wang Lin replied that it was a beast from the celestial burial pool. Within the black fog, Wang Lin quickly approached a huge palace that was far larger than the surrounding pavilions. The palace was imposing and eerie, resembling a fierce beast staring down at a small cultivator. A gap in its gate was large enough for 10 people to enter at once. And Wang Lin immediately passed through it, entering the palace on the first floor of the Celestial Emperor Cave. Inside the hall were 2 enormous statues, both forming seals and seemingly pointing toward the void with glaring eyes. They radiated tremendous pressure, filling the hall with the might of the heavens. Wang Lin was briefly startled but quickly recovered. Having experienced a similar scene with the flower imperial concubine, he searched the hall but could not find an entrance to the second floor. The man in black then entered and was also shocked by the statues, causing the black dragon mark between his eyebrows to appear instantly. Wang Lin noticed the mark, his pupils shrinking slightly, but immediately withdrew his gaze without revealing anything. The man in black quickly recovered and became gloomy, wondering whether Wang Lin had noticed his secret. Soon, Master Void and the beautiful woman also entered after forcing through the restrictions. Even Master Void was briefly startled by the statues before recovering, while the beautiful woman appeared confused but quickly returned to normal with his help. Master Void immediately revealed killing intent upon seeing Wang Lin, but before he could act, the roar of the human-shaped beast approached from outside. The beautiful woman, still pale from her previous danger, directly asked Wang Lin what he had done to make the creature pursue him all the way there. Having abandoned her previous pretense, she no longer addressed him as a fellow cultivator and called him Wang Lin directly. Wang Lin had already searched the hall and, although he had not found the entrance to the second floor, had begun to suspect that the 2 statues were related to it. He calmly asked how she knew that he was the one who attracted the creature. As he spoke, he retreated toward the statues as though wary of being attacked. The beautiful woman angrily argued that if he had not attracted it, he would not have immediately headed there when he heard its roar. Wang Lin explained that the human-shaped creature was a beast buried beneath the celestial burial pool, that he had encountered it after leaving a restriction, and that after fighting it and realizing he was no match, he had fled rather than allowing it to kill him. While explaining, he retreated until he was almost beside the statues, keeping his gaze on Master Void instead of the beautiful woman. Master Void's cultivation placed enormous pressure on him because, despite reaching the peak of Nirvana Scryer and possessing an ancient god body, Wang Lin was still no match for the Nirvana Shatterer Master Void. Master Void then told Wang Lin that he did not care whether the matter was his fault and ordered him to go outside and lure the human-shaped creature away, giving him no other choice. His seemingly calm words contained a spell, and when he stepped forward, countless invisible ripples appeared between them and shot toward Wang Lin's chest with the power of a Nirvana Shatterer. Wang Lin immediately activated the Azure Light Shield from his right eye. The ripples struck the shield with an earth-shattering explosion, but the shield could not resist the attack and was forced back into Wang Lin's chest. Wang Lin's body cracked under the impact. He coughed up blood, and he was sent flying backward like a broken kite. As the shield was driven into him, one of the powerful ripples entered his body and violently tore at his meridians, rushing through his body in an attempt to destroy both his physical body and origin soul. Everything happened in an instant, shocking the beautiful woman and causing the man in black's pupils to shrink. Master Void himself was surprised by the result, because although he had not used his full strength, that attack should have been enough to easily kill a Nirvana Scryer cultivator. He believed that Wang Lin, the possible future Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor, would certainly die from the attack, and that the Vermilion Bird would die with him. Master Void was shocked that Wang Lin's body did not collapse and that he did not die immediately after receiving his attack. The sudden shield had cancelled out 70% of the attack's power. But even the remaining 30% should have been enough to kill Wang Lin. Instead, It only caused Wang Lin to cough up blood and suffer severe injuries. The violent ripple from the attack continued to rage through Wang Lin's body and attacked his origin soul. Although his origin soul was protected by the ancient god leather armor, the vibration still caused it to become dim, and Wang Lin coughed up another large mouthful of blood before being thrown backward. His ancient god body was seriously injured, but his gaze remained calm as he stared at Master Void. He was thrown to the center of the gazes of the two statues in the hall. Master Void's killing intent intensified when he saw that Wang Lin was still alive. He vaguely sensed that something was wrong with Wang Lin's position and raised his right hand to strike down mercilessly. He was certain this attack would kill Wang Lin. As his attack descended, a rumbling yellow sandstorm formed and rushed toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin remained calm, with a trace of ridicule in his eyes. He knew that he could not defeat Master Void with his current strength. He had already sensed Master Void's hostility toward him at the Celestial Burial Pool, and after learning about Wang Lin's Vermilion Bird awakening, Master Void had most likely developed an intention to kill him. Now that they were together in the hall, Wang Lin knew Master Void would reveal that killing intent sooner or later. Since resisting directly was useless, Wang Lin had instead taken advantage of the previous attack to be thrown toward the position where he had vaguely discovered the entrance to the second floor. During this short period, he had also secretly arranged a killing formation with Master Void as its target. Wang Lin would not provoke others if they did not provoke him. But since Master Void had attacked him, he would not simply endure it. Even if he could not kill Master Void, he intended to leave a deep impression on him. Wang Lin formed the same hand seal as the two statues. Purple light immediately emerged from the statues' gazes. The two beams of purple light rushed out, circled Wang Lin, and formed a vortex that began pulling his body toward it. Master Void's long cultivation experience gave him a powerful intuition. He immediately sensed that something was wrong with the place where Wang Lin had landed and added another attack. The sandstorm rushed into the purple vortex toward Wang Lin. If Wang Lin continued moving at the vortex's speed, the sandstorm would reach him and kill him before he could enter. Master Void also charged toward Wang Lin. Facing this life and death crisis, a cold light flashed in Wang Lin's eyes. As the sandstorm approached, his third eye opened. His third eye contained his strongest spell, something he normally would not dare use casually. But with Master Void closing in, Wang Lin opened it without hesitation. Wang Lin roared, "Master Void!" His vertical third eye opened completely, and brilliant red light spread outward like a fan. For the first time, Master Void's calm expression changed dramatically. The moment he saw the power emerging from Wang Lin's third eye, his entire perception seemed to be overturned. Source origin. Master Void's eyes were initially filled with disbelief, but that disbelief quickly turned into intense excitement and greed. He completely forgot about the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect and the Cultivation Alliance. His attention was focused entirely on the source origin emerging from Wang Lin's third eye. The man in black was also greatly shocked and stared at Wang Lin with shining eyes filled with disbelief. Only the beautiful woman displayed a strange expression without any greed, as she looked at Wang Lin and frowned. The source origin filled the red light from Wang Lin's third eye and collided with the yellow sandstorm. The sandstorm trembled and rapidly dissipated despite containing the power of a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator. Wang Lin felt intense pain between his eyebrows. He did not have much source origin remaining, and it was rapidly being consumed as it confronted the sandstorm. However, he did not withdraw it. Instead, filled with killing intent, he continued releasing source origin from his third eye. Wang Lin understood how important source origin was to those seeking the third step, and he knew that Master Void would be unable to resist the temptation. The red light expanded greatly, causing the sandstorm to collapse completely. The source origin then shot out from the red light and rushed directly toward Master Void. Master Void's expression changed, but the greed in his eyes became even stronger. He wanted to dodge, yet he was unwilling to abandon even the extremely small chance to personally experience source origin. Because of this hesitation, the red light from Wang Lin's third eye surrounded him. Master Void's body seemed to be peeled apart layer by layer until it became half-transparent. Master Void's eyes were filled with greed as he repeatedly focused on the source origin. His divine sense spread out to examine it, completely ignoring that he was in the middle of a battle. In his eyes, Wang Lin was insignificant. Master Void was confident that he could comprehend this source origin, And once he succeeded, his old heart seemed to regain the vitality of his youth, causing him to become increasingly excited. He had never imagined that he would encounter the legendary source origin rumored to be the key to reaching the third step, especially while he had merely intended to eliminate a potential future threat. Meanwhile, Wang Lin's body slowly sank into the purple vortex. The killing intent in his eyes grew stronger. His killing formation had already been completed, and Master Void had entered it. Now, all that remained was for Wang Lin to make his move. Wang Lin slapped his storage bag, causing a sword sheath to appear in his hand. Inside the sheath was the iron sword. His gaze became extremely cold as he firmly grasped the sword's handle. Wang Lin's killing intent completely disappeared the moment he held the iron sword, leaving his eyes calm and tranquil. It seemed as though all his killing intent toward Master Void had been absorbed by the sword. Yet this calm gaze was several times more terrifying than his previous murderous expression. Wang Lin vaguely sensed that the iron sword possessed its own spirit and was about to awaken. And once awakened, it would unleash a power capable of destroying the world. The beautiful woman noticed the change when Wang Lin took out the sword sheath. Although she initially failed to recognize it, Wang Lin's suddenly calm gaze triggered a trace of her memories and filled her eyes with disbelief. The man in black also stared at the sword sheath, his pupils shrinking violently. Wang Lin calmly grasped the sword handle and pulled the iron sword from its sheath. The instant it emerged, a terrifying aura erupted, causing the hall to crack and the two nearby statues to develop countless cracks as if they were about to shatter. Without hesitation, Wang Lin raised the iron sword and slashed down at Master Void, who was still immersed in comprehending source origin. Master Void had regarded Wang Lin as no more than an ant and had been concentrating entirely on deciphering the secret of creating source origin, believing that discovering its mystery would reveal the correct path to the third step. Just as he was about to grasp a clue, however, he suddenly sensed an overwhelming life and death crisis, far stronger than the collapse of the celestial burial pool. Recognizing the aura, Master Void stared at the iron sword and exclaimed that it was a pseudo-nirvana void treasure. Although the sword remained in Wang Lin's hand, an enormous 100.000-foot silver sword appeared between them and violently descended upon Master Void. He had no time to dodge because Wang Lin had chosen the timing perfectly, and the silver sword moved far faster than a nirvana shatterer cultivator could cast a spell. As it struck Master Void's chest, his origin soul instantly left his body and surrounded it, becoming completely purple while his body also shone purple. At Master Void's cultivation level, his origin soul was stronger than his physical body, allowing him to use it to block the attack. The silver light flashed violently, causing his body to tremble and his face to redden before he coughed up blood. His origin soul trembled and returned to his body. Master Void revealed a hideous expression and was forced backward, but he forcibly stopped himself within the source origin. This caused the source origin to continue invading his body and worsen his injuries. He then angrily declared that even with a pseudo-nirvana void treasure, Wang Lin still lacked the qualifications to kill him, and he clawed toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's face had become pale because his origin energy was rapidly being absorbed by the iron sword. He already knew that the sword could be used without refining it, even though its nature was completely different from ordinary treasures. To complete his killing formation, he had used it without hesitation and had already prepared himself for the loss of origin energy. When Master Void attacked, Wang Lin raised the iron sword again, drew a deep breath, and poured out more origin energy as the sword once again became covered in silver light before slashing downward. Master Void's expression became extremely gloomy as he waved his right hand backward. He had become anxious because remaining within the source origin meant he was constantly being attacked by it. Although the amount of source origin was less than 1/10,000th of his origin energy, resisting even this small amount required most of his origin energy, while he also had to devote his entire mind to comprehending it. He had never expected Wang Lin to possess a pseudo-nirvana void treasure, forcing him to take Wang Lin seriously. Yet he was unwilling to abandon this rare opportunity to comprehend source origin. His killing intent toward Wang Lin therefore reached its peak. Master Void estimated that he needed only 7 more minutes to understand the mystery of the source origin. He then took out a purple ice cube from his storage bag, and its appearance immediately filled the entire hall with an icy chill. With great reluctance, Master Void split off a portion of his origin soul to form another body. This avatar swallowed the purple ice cube and charged toward Wang Lin like lightning. Wang Lin swung the iron sword, causing another giant silver sword to appear and shoot toward the avatar. The avatar formed a seal and pointed at the sword, producing a loud collision that forced the avatar backward and greatly dimmed it, while the illusionary sword also collapsed. From the moment the purple ice cube appeared, Wang Lin sensed an aura similar to that of his iron sword and esteemed Zan Bao's arrow. Recognizing that the ice cube was also a pseudo-nirvana void treasure. Although Wang Lin had already lost a tremendous amount of origin energy, he could not concern himself with it because the killing formation had begun and he refused to abandon it. He had deliberately used source origin as bait to establish this formation. If he could not kill or seriously injure Master Void, his entire plan would fail. He had exposed both his source origin and his pseudo-nirvana void treasure. But seriously injuring or killing Master Void would be enough to deter the beautiful woman and the man in black. Wang Lin then realized that because the iron sword possessed its own spirit, he could not unleash its true power with his cultivation alone. Since the sword required no refining, he sensed that the key was to treat the treasure like a person and allow it to act on its own. Wang Lin closed his eyes and relinquished control of the iron sword. The sword immediately released a ringing sword hymn. Master Void's avatar charged forward again, carrying the purple ice cube whose endless cold radiated outward even before it reached Wang Lin. The iron sword suddenly rose by itself, pulling Wang Lin's hand upward. Wang Lin's origin energy poured out uncontrollably, while the iron sword released heaven-shaking sword hymns as if it were delighted. As the avatar approached, another giant silver sword appeared. Unlike the previous illusion, this sword looked completely real and could not be distinguished from an actual sword. It immediately slashed downward and collided with Master Void's avatar, forcing it back several steps. Yet the sword did not disappear. Its silver light became even brighter before it curved around and attacked from the left. The second strike connected seamlessly with the first like the sword techniques of a mortal warrior. After colliding with the avatar a second time, the silver sword immediately shifted and attacked from below without the slightest pause. It transformed into a streak of silver light and continued assaulting Master Void's avatar like a silver dragon. Striking repeatedly, its speed increased with every attack. The first strike was relatively slow. The second was faster, and by the blink of an eye, 7 strikes had already merged together. By the 6th strike, all of Wang Lin's origin energy had been exhausted. The 7th strike began absorbing the essence of his body, but his powerful ancient god body was able to withstand the strain. After the 7th strike, the 8th descended like a silver dragon, followed by the 9th, 10th, and 11th strikes. Almost all the gazes in the hall focused on Master Void's avatar as Wang Lin's treasure continued its relentless attacks. The silver light grew faster and faster, reaching the 19th strike and then the 22nd. Wang Lin's skin withered extensively. His eyes became dim, and even his ancient god body could not withstand such powerful absorption. After the 17th strike, each subsequent strike consumed several times more power than the previous one. And Wang Lin's limit was 23 strikes. After launching the 23rd strike, Wang Lin suddenly opened his eyes. The silver light attacking Master Void's avatar abruptly stopped, then shone with unprecedented brilliance and illuminated the entire hall. 23 huge silver swords appeared beside Master Void's avatar and simultaneously pierced through it. They fell like 23 silver meteors at unimaginable speed, producing a series of thunderous rumbles as they penetrated the avatar. The avatar had no chance to dodge. As the 23 swords pierced through it, the purple ice cube inside cracked and collapsed, while Master Void's avatar was torn into countless pieces. The 23 swords then formed a net and charged toward Master Void himself. While Master Void was still comprehending the source origin, his face turned pale and he coughed up blood. He was shocked that Wang Lin possessed such a powerful treasure. Realizing that it was not an ordinary pseudo-nirvana void treasure, with his origin soul avatar destroyed, he had suffered serious injuries. Seeing the 23 swords and his own pseudo-nirvana void treasure approaching him, Master Void's scalp went numb, but he was only a few breaths away from fully comprehending the mysteries of the source origin. He refused to retreat because doing so would mean giving up his long-awaited opportunity to comprehend the path to the 3rd step. Master Void understood that Wang Lin had deliberately used the source origin as bait. forcing him into a situation where he could not use his full strength and had to devote most of his effort to comprehending the source origin, thereby creating a killing formation that left him unable to advance or retreat. Master Void decided to take the risk. He slapped his storage bag and took out a fist-sized black tortoise shell that released a powerful pressure. The tortoise shell was also a pseudo-Nirvana Void treasure, and as an important member of the Cultivation Alliance, Master Void possessed no shortage of treasures. He threw the tortoise shell out and then ignored everything else, spreading his divine sense and continuing to comprehend the source origin. He could feel that he was only a step away from finding the path to the third step he had dreamed of for countless years. The tortoise shell floated before him and released a large amount of black light. But the 23 silver swords immediately crashed down upon it. The tortoise shell was forced backward but initially managed to resist. The attacks continued without stopping. After the third sword dissipated, the fourth and fifth followed, continuing until the 21st sword descended as a streak of silver light. The tortoise shell kept retreating while countless cracks spread across its surface. After only 3 breaths, it shattered into countless fragments that scattered in all directions. With its defensive power gone, the 22nd and 23rd swords shot directly toward Master Void. The final 2 swords contained the greatest destructive power and instantly reached his chest. Master Void had no time to cast a spell at such close range, and he could not abandon his opportunity to comprehend the source origin. At the critical moment, he waved his hand, causing his clothes to move as though blown by wind, and a purple wind suddenly formed a whirlwind around him. The whirlwind collided with the 22nd sword and immediately collapsed with a loud explosion. The final sword then pierced directly through and struck Master Void's chest. At this moment, Wang Lin's eyes shone brightly because this was the final moment of his killing formation. He raised his aching left hand, rubbed the rust marks on the iron sword, and once the rust appeared on his left hand, he flicked his finger. When the 23rd sword struck Master Void coughed up a mouthful of blood. His face became pale, his clothes were torn, and his chest was a bloody mess. Yet he ignored his injuries and continued desperately comprehending the source origin, believing he was almost completely enlightened and only a step away from the path to the third step. At that moment, the strange power contained in the rust entered the void when Wang Lin flicked his finger. Just as Master Void was about to comprehend the path to the third step, the rust passed over him like a gentle breeze. Master Void's body trembled violently, and a large amount of blood sprayed from his chest and poured from all his orifices. He was forced backward and consequently left the red light containing the source origin, causing everything he had worked for to be ruined. Master Void roared in despair, his eyes red like a beast's, but his body was thrown away from the source origin and he could do nothing to stop it. Wang Lin's third eye flashed, and the red light returned. Almost all of the source origin had disappeared, leaving only a sliver. Holding the iron sword, Wang Lin turned his cold gaze toward the beautiful woman. Her mind trembled under his gaze. Wang Lin's spell and treasure had greatly shocked her, and she unexpectedly did not dare to meet his eyes and lowered her head. When Wang Lin looked toward the man in black, shock and fear appeared in his eyes as well, and he also did not dare to face Wang Lin. The aura Wang Lin possessed at that moment was the strongest it had ever been in his life. Through schemes and deception, Wang Lin had managed to defeat a Nirvana Shatterer cultivator, and no one was willing to provoke someone like him. Wang Lin sneered and said that if they wanted his source origin and treasure, they should come and take them. Killing intent flashed in his eyes as his body gradually disappeared into the purple vortex formed by the 2 statues. Although Wang Lin disappeared, the shock he had left in the beautiful woman, the man in black, and Master Void remained for a long time. The fear in the man in black's eyes did not fade. The thought of Wang Lin's 23 swords made him feel a chill. Although he believed Wang Lin had probably exhausted all his power to summon those 23 swords and was merely putting up a front, he did not dare to gamble, and the attack of the 23 swords had caused him to lose some confidence. He concluded that the Vermilion Bird Divine Sect would revive because of Wang Lin, not only returning to its former glory but reaching an even greater height. Wang Lin possessed source origin, and the man in black trembled as he wondered who had given Wang Lin the source origin. Master Void landed on the ground in a miserable state, his face pale and his eyes filled with frustration. He lamented that he had been only a sliver away from comprehending the source origin. His clenched fist, the pain from his injuries, and the destruction of half of his origin soul caused his cultivation to fall greatly. The hope of reaching enlightenment followed immediately by irreconcilable disappointment drove him to roar. However, after cultivating for countless years, Master Void quickly calmed himself, and an even stronger killing intent appeared in his eyes. He determined that Wang Lin was too cunning, bold, and decisive, and he could not allow Wang Lin to become the future Vermilion Bird Divine Emperor. To kill Wang Lin and seize the source origin, Master Void was willing to risk having his first Heaven's Blight arrive 3,000 years early. The beautiful woman was no less shocked than the man in black or Master Void, and because she knew more, her shock was even greater. Apart from Wang Lin's source origin, what shocked her most was the Iron Sword. She had only heard of a treasure like it once in her life. She recalled that in the brilliant Void realm, the elders had once discussed the treasures of the world and explained that although treasures were generally divided into spirit, mysterious, celestial, void, and nirvana ranks, those 5 were not the highest. There were treasures above those ranks, although even the elder who mentioned them had only encountered nirvana-level treasures. Spirit and mysterious treasures were numerous, and most first-step cultivators used treasures of those 2 ranks, while some first-step cultivators possessed celestial treasures. For second-step cultivators, however, celestial treasures were no longer powerful enough to satisfy their needs. For nirvana shatterer old monsters, ordinary celestial treasures were often less useful than celestial spells unless they were top-quality celestial treasures. Therefore, nirvana shatterer cultivators sought treasures of higher ranks. Besides the commonly used celestial treasures created by ancient refiners, they searched for treasures dating back to even older eras. The relics from those ancient times were known as void treasures.